The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths, the deception of deception. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
Angel Reese dubbed herself the new face of the WNBA, but somehow didn't even crack the top 10 in All-Star voting. Maybe the fact that she's shooting just 30.9% from the field, one of the lowest among qualified players, has something to do with it.
Well, the first returns are coming in on the WNBA All-Star voting. Of course, it will be in Indianapolis. And as you can imagine, Caitlin Clark is leading the All-Star vote. By the way, it looks like a massive turnout.
While Caitlin Clark wasn't just showing up, she was taking over the All-Star voting, racking up more than 515,000 votes and leaving Angel Reese in the rear view like she didn't even know the polls were open. If you're riding with Caitlin and the Indiana Fever squad, keep those votes coming for the All-Star game and drop Baby Goat, Baby Giraffe in the comments. Let's run it up.
Be honest. Second straight year that Clark has led the fan voting. She was second in early returns in fan voting in 2024, but jumped to first with around 700,000 total votes by the end of the period. So I'm wondering, are we going to see 1 million votes this time? Because I saw somebody earlier that said, so far, voting is actually way up versus exactly where we was at this time last year.
And this is exactly where the whole storyline falls apart. If Angel Reese is supposed to be the face of the league, why are the fans voting like they've seen enough? Let's be real, Angel has been everywhere lately. You can't scroll your feed, glance at a billboard, or watch a single commercial without her popping up. She's officially the most promoted 30% shooter in recent basketball memory.
Caitlin Clark has 3 times the amount of votes. 3 times the amount of votes as Angel Reese. So there you go. I suspect Sophie Cunningham's numbers are going to grow after what we've seen. Somebody said, I saw some things online about they sold $1 million worth of Sophie Cunningham jerseys, and something in the neighborhood of 12,000 all went out one day.
The media didn't just cover Angel Reese, they turned her into a walking billboard for the league. Forbes called her the driving force behind the WNBA's growth, and sports networks acted like she was single-handedly saving the sport. It felt more like a PR blitz than coverage. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark was out here casually drilling logo threes and packing arenas like it was just another day at the office. And some outlets didn't even mention her name.
Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism. Of course, the vast majority of her followers are bots and lonely men, most of which are not buying tickets or watching her games on television because they can't afford the 5 pesos a month to watch the Chicago Bravado on WNBA League Pass.
And the WNBA, they were fully behind it. Their official accounts were posting Angel Reese highlights like she was the league's crown jewel, giving her airtime most All-Stars only dream of. She was everywhere. Podcasts, interviews, endorsement deals, you name it. Angel Reese was booked like a blockbuster, and she ran with it, boldly claiming she's the reason fans are tuning in. A strong statement, especially considering most of those fans seem to be watching someone else entirely.
Hi, Angel. David Moses with the Bigs Media. Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question. Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom.
While Reese was out here talking about building a legacy, Caitlin Clark was out there actually building one. Clark wasn't just putting up decent numbers, she was putting up superstar stats. Fans aren't fooled by hype, they want production. And when All-Star voting opened, the numbers did the talking. Clark shot straight to the top of the leaderboard, while Angel Reese barely made a dent. That's not just unexpected, that's a serious wake-up call.
There's a supposed, people keep telling me, supposed second most popular player in the league that doesn't look like the second most popular player at all. And in fact, a rookie I have been touting that that is playing better than Angel Reese, Kiki Arifin. Well, basketball fans are showing up, and they have got her voted ahead of Angel right now. Angel is not in the top 10.
That gap says a lot. All the buzz around Angel Reese didn't translate into actual fan support when it counted. For every headline hyping up Reese's personality, Caitlin Clark was putting up stat lines that couldn't be ignored. While Reese made news for her social media presence, Clark was making SportsCenter for her game. There's a big difference between being talked about and being truly impactful, and fans made it crystal clear which one they value more.
According to Forbes, Caitlin Clark is not responsible for elevating this turd into the mainstream. The ladies responsible for elevating the WNBA are Angel Reese and the unknown face of the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces.
Even Forbes, with all its so-called credibility, hailed Reese as the driving force behind the WNBA's rise, conveniently ignoring Caitlin Clark altogether. But manufactured narratives only go so far when the fans get the final word. And when the votes were counted, it was Caitlin sitting at the top, not because of PR spins or flashy headlines, but because her game left no room for doubt.
Enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is. Well, it's 13th place. And I can tell you right now, Jonquel Jones ought to be ahead of her.
This isn't just about basketball, it's about credibility. Fans don't want to be spoon-fed a narrative. They want the freedom to choose who earns their support. And when the All-Star ballots dropped, they sent a crystal clear message. Despite all the media hype, big brand endorsements, and non-stop promotion, Angel Reese didn't even crack the top 10. When the moment came to cast their votes, the fans simply said, no thanks.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
Now let's break down the stats, because this isn't just a popularity game, it's about production. Sure, Angel Reese is pulling down boards, but when you're hitting just 30.9% from the floor, it's tough to sell yourself as elite, especially as a forward, where those close-range shots are supposed to be automatic. Missing bunnies under the rim, that's not exactly all-star material.
There is obviously no way Angel can compare to Caitlin Clark as a shooter or a passer. And there is no way Angel can live up to her dynamic social media / podcast presence as a shooter or a passer or even a shot blocker. She's blocked only 2 shots so far this season. She doesn't even do that.
Let's talk about that 4-point outing against the Fever, because here's the kicker. Caitlin Clark wasn't even playing. It was supposed to be Angel Reese's time to shine, and instead she completely disappeared. That's not how you win over voters. That's how you become a meme. And sure, her supporters keep pointing to her rebounding totals, but a closer look shows many of those are what fans now call me-bounds, grabbing boards off her own missed shots. In this league, efficiency still counts.
She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else. She has nothing. She's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player.
No doubt, Angel Reese brings energy. She crashes the glass and stays engaged. But let's be real, it's 2025 and the bar is higher now. Teams are looking for complete players, ones who can score, distribute, defend, and hit clutch free throws. If all you've got is hustle and some flashy attitude, you're getting left behind, especially when both rookies and vets are out here stacking double-doubles without needing a production team following them around.
They continue to talk a good game instead of being about a good game. This is fan voting. This is literally vote for who you are a fan of. Vote for who you're a fan of, or vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you're a fan of. Vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you think are the stars in this league. Angel Reese fans, you guys aren't fans of her? You don't think she's most worthy? You don't think she's a star in this league?
Let's be honest, connecting with fans takes more than just noise. Caitlin Clark didn't have to campaign for the spotlight. She earned it. She stays cool under pressure, shows up when it matters most, and lets her game do all the talking. She's won people over, not with headlines, but with highlight reels. She's turned packed arenas into her own personal playground. Angel Reese? She's still in warm-ups. Loud talk with cold shooting doesn't win over fans. It just sparks arguments on social media. And for a league that's fighting to grow its viewership, the spotlight can't be handed out. It has to be earned. If you want to attract new fans, you've got to give them stars who shine. Clark is that star. She's driving ratings, selling out venues, and dropping dimes while she's at it. Reese, she's racking up bricks and broken plays, not buckets. Here's the bottom line. All-star nods aren't handed out based on follower count or sound bites from interviews. It's about who produces, who performs, and who shows up in the big moments. Caitlin Clark, she's checked every box. Angel Reese, still searching for her rhythm and maybe her real supporters. That's the difference. One player is shaping the future of the league. The other is learning that hype alone doesn't get you there. Let that sink in.
Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
Now let's put Angel Reese side by side with some of the WNBA's most complete forwards. Look at Aaliyah Boston. She's not just crashing the glass, she's dominating both ends of the court, putting up points while locking down her matchups. And fans recognize that all-around game, rewarding her with over 447,000 All-Star votes. Then there's Kiki Finn, quietly stacking up double-doubles like it's second nature, and pulling in more than 213,000 votes along the way. What separates players like Boston and Finn isn't just one flashy stat, it's their ability to impact the game in every way possible. Scoring, rebounding, defending, they do it all. That's what fans are voting for. Versatility, consistency, and players who fill the entire stat sheet. It's not about hype, it's about complete impact.
7, 8, 9 on the list are Kelsey Mitchell, Sabrina Ionescu, and Lexington Hull. The following three are Kiki Finn, Kelsey the Plumber, and Satu Sabali? You mean to tell me these unknowns are ranked ahead of the face of the league?
Even when you focus on Angel Reese's strongest traits, the weaknesses are hard to miss. Yes, she battles under the rim with grit and fights for every rebound like it's personal, but being tough on the boards doesn't make you a complete player. In today's WNBA, versatility is the name of the game. Analysts agree, the league is loaded with players who can score, pass, defend, and stretch the floor. If you only excel in one area, you risk being labeled one-dimensional. And right now, Reese's stat sheet tells that story. A player who's still figuring out how to round out her game. Until she adds more layers, her ceiling stays right where it is, just out of reach.
Lexi Hall, 217,000, and there is Kiki Finn, 213,500. She's averaging a double-double, a legit double-double, with a good field goal percentage. Angel Reese, well, wait a minute. I thought it was about you too. Everybody's watching because of me too, except everybody's not watching because of you too. I mean, guys, if the ratings ain't enough and the attendance ain't enough and what happened at LSU ain't enough and all this other stuff ain't enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is, well, it's 13th place.
The stats tell the story. Angel Reese might be a beast on the boards, but her poor shooting and lack of offensive firepower keep her out of true all-star conversation. And that brings us to the bigger question. What really earns you a spot in today's WNBA all-star lineup? Grabbing rebounds might make noise, but the fans are clearly demanding more than just hustle. Let's break down what the voters actually said with their choices.
So even right down here, the Mirror's calling out Angel Reese. As for Reese, one-time All-Star from last year in a rookie season alongside Clark, who appears set to earn a second honor, has struggled in 2025. 23-year-old, notorious for her rebounding supremacy, averages 11 points, but the Sky are 3 and 8. And she's shooting like, I don't even know what she's at now. It's probably less than 35%.
The All-Star voting system is straightforward. Fans control 50% of the vote, while players and media each hold 25%. That means the fans have the loudest voice in the room. And they used it to send a very clear message. No thanks, Angel Reese. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark didn't just win, she dominated, pulling in a jaw-dropping 516,000 votes compared to Reese's 173,000. That's not just a gap, that's a canyon, big enough to fit an entire Netflix series and a halftime concert inside.
Let's see, fan voting runs through the 28th, culmination of fan voting 50%, player votes 25%, and media votes. Oh, that's going to be where Angel Reese makes her move. Media votes 25% will determine the All-Star starters. Looking right at you, CBS. You still ain't released the rating.
This result says more than just who's popular. Now, it cuts to the core of what fans value. All-Star voting is supposed to reflect buzz, respect, and media hype. But even after months of nonstop promotion painting Angel Reese as the WNBA's breakout star, fans weren't buying it. They didn't vote for headlines. They voted for hoopers. And Caitlin Clark, she didn't just live up to the hype. She outplayed it. With clutch shots, game-winning moments, and highlights that demanded attention, she gave fans a reason to believe.
Nafisi Collier, who is probably the leader of the MVP pack right now, is at 485,000. Aaliyah Boston is third, 447,000, as she should be. Aaliyah should get some MVP conversation. I'm going to be honest.
Just take a glance at the rest of the top 10. The message couldn't be louder. Aaliyah Boston pulled in close to 450,000 votes. Not because she's chasing headlines, but because she shows up every single game, dominating both ends of the floor. Then there's Nafisa Collier, last year's Defensive Player of the Year and this season's MVP frontrunner, earning nearly 500,000 votes. Fans are making it clear they're voting for impact, not image. They want results, not just reputation, and when it comes down to it, Angel Reese's numbers just don't stack up when it matters most.
I know Kelsey Plum is likable. She's a lovely lady, but you mean to tell me she's more popular than Angel Reese? The same Angel Reese who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list, 173,000 votes.
The fact that Angel Reese leads the league in rebounds says a lot, but not everything. In today's WNBA, being great at just one thing isn't enough. This league demands versatility, and fans can see the difference. They're not swayed by stats alone. They want players who bring the full package, the ones who can dominate the paint, lock down defensively, hit key shots, and lead when it matters most. Rebounding is valuable, sure, but if that's your only weapon, fans won't be fooled.
Didn't shoot a single free throw. Although she did have 12 rebounds, her average, which does lead the league. But a couple of times Angel drove it and flung up just these wild shots from 3 or 4 feet that missed the rim by, 3 or 4 feet. Just looked so ridiculously awkward, like she'd never even played basketball.
Angel Reese's rise in the spotlight hasn't come from dominant play. It's been fueled more by image than impact. From viral interviews to headline-grabbing quotes, she's built a brand that demands attention. But fans aren't just here for the noise. They're showing up for real performance. The WNBA and media may have jumped the gun, putting Reese front and center before her game was ready to match the hype. And now, the All-Star voting has laid that truth bare. Support poured in for proven producers like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Not just personalities, but players with real results. This whole situation sends a clear message about how the league should think about building stars. You can't manufacture greatness. You can't slap someone's face on every promo and expect fans to blindly follow. Viewers are smarter than that. They're watching every play, reading the box scores, and voting with their eyes wide open. And what they're saying? Hype isn't enough. Proof matters more.
These numbers are 100% accurate, and Angel Reese is the 13th most popular player in the WNBA. This probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game.
This All-Star vote didn't just send a message to Angel Reese. It sent a wake-up call to the entire WNBA. If you want to be recognized as one of the league's best, you have to back it up with consistency. It's not about who talks the loudest or shows up in the most commercials. It's about who shows up on the court night after night. And fans, they're paying attention. Angel Reese's media persona and her actual performance have officially split, and the All-Star voting made that crystal clear. Hype alone doesn't work anymore. This wasn't just a list of names. This was a statement. The voters reshaped the narrative. They chose production over popularity, effort over endorsement deals. Yes, Reese still has the brand deals, the headlines, and the interviews, but the fans just handed the WNBA a clear signal that none of it matters without the game to back it up. The All-Star process has become more than just recognition. It's a mirror of what fans value now. They want players who show up and deliver, not just in interviews, not just on TikTok, but when it matters most, between the lines. So if Angel Reese wants to truly wear the crown, she'll have to earn it with buckets, not billboards. The fans have spoken, now it's up to the league to listen. And if you're riding with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, keep those votes coming and drop Baby Goat over Baby Giraffe in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Click the video on your screen, and we'll catch you in the next one. Catch you in the next